Somewhere on a British allotment right now, an older pair of hands is passing a set of keys to a younger one. Maybe it is a grown-up child finally taking on the plot their parent has worked for 30 years. Maybe it is a retiree handing over to a neighbour half their age. Maybe it is a whole committee of pensioners watching a new wave of 30-somethings arrive with raised bed kits and composting apps. It looks like a simple handover. It is not. What is actually happening in that moment is one of the most complex transfers in gardening. Not of tools, not of a tenancy agreement, but of knowledge, culture, soil health, and a quietly radical way of thinking about food and land. And most of it happens without a single word being spoken. The obvious things are easy to list. The shed, the tools, the water butt, the established fruit trees, the perennial beds. If the outgoing grower was thorough, there might even be a handwritten notebook, planting dates, variety names, notes on what the slugs prefer in wet years. These are gifts, real ones. A well-tended plot can save a new grower 2 or 3 seasons of expensive trial and error. An established gooseberry bush takes years to produce well. A rhubarb crown that has been divided and fed correctly for a decade is something you simply cannot buy. You inherit infrastructure, but you also inherit decisions, the way beds are oriented, the spacing between paths, the choice to go no-dig or traditional. Every layout reflects the thinking of whoever came before, and some of that thinking will suit you perfectly, and some of it will quietly frustrate you for years before you realize it. This is where it gets interesting. Soil is not a surface. It is a living system that takes years to develop. A grower who has been feeding their beds with compost, green manures, and well-rotted manure for 2 or 3 decades has built something extraordinary underground. The microbial communities, the fungal networks, the worm population, the organic matter content. You cannot see any of that when you walk onto a new plot, but it is there, and it shapes everything you will grow for years to come. A well-maintained plot can have soil organic matter levels 2 or 3 times higher than a neglected one. That translates directly into water retention, nutrient availability, and resistance to compaction. When your courgettes romp away in a good summer, or your runner beans set pods earlier than your neighbours, that legacy soil is often the reason. The incoming grower inherits all of that benefit without necessarily knowing it exists. This is the part that older growers sometimes find difficult to watch, and the part that younger growers sometimes fail to explain. New allotment holders tend to arrive with different priorities. They have grown up with a sharper awareness of climate, biodiversity, and chemical-free growing. Many of them come to the allotment having researched no-dig methods, companion planting, and seed saving in considerable depth before they ever pick up a fork. They are not starting from scratch intellectually. They are starting from scratch physically. They also bring energy, the willingness to shift a ton of compost in a weekend, the patience to build raised beds from scratch, the appetite to try varieties that an older generation might consider impractical. And they bring new knowledge alongside old, online communities, horticultural research, soil science that simply was not accessible to a grower setting out in the 1970s or 1980s. That knowledge does not replace experience, but it does add to it. The real friction when it happens is almost never about tools or techniques. It is about time. An experienced grower has absorbed something that cannot be downloaded. They know what a late frost smells like. They know which corner of the plot dries out first in May. They know that the pigeons always come from the east, and that the first sign of clubroot on the brassicas is a slight yellowing 3 weeks before anyone else notices. That knowledge lives in the body, in years of repetition, in failure and recovery. It is not written down because it was never thought of as knowledge. It was just Tuesday, when a new grower arrives full of research and enthusiasm, and an outgoing grower watches them do something differently. The tension that surfaces is not really about the right way to stake broad beans. It is about whether decades of accumulated wisdom are being respected or quietly set aside. Both sides usually mean well, but meaning well is not the same as communicating well. The handover of an allotment is one of the rare moments in modern life where genuine intergenerational knowledge transfer is still possible, not mediated by a screen, not packaged into a course, just one person showing another where the water pools after rain and why that bed always does better with brassicas in it. If you are the one receiving a plot, ask questions before you change anything. Walk the site in different seasons if you can. Find out what was tried and failed. Find out what the outgoing grower is most proud of. That conversation is worth more than any planting guide. If you are the one handing over, write things down, even rough notes. The variety of the apple tree, the years the late blight came, the corner that gets the afternoon sun. Leave something for the next pair of hands. The handover of an allotment is never just a handover of land. It is a transfer of accumulated soil health, embodied knowledge, and growing culture built over years. What the new generation brings matters too: energy, research, fresh priorities. The plots that thrive across generations are the ones where both sides take the time to actually talk. So over to you. Did you inherit your plot from someone, or are you the one who started it from scratch? If you inherited it, what is the one thing the previous grower left behind, written down or not, that you are most grateful for? And if this helped you understand your plot a little better, subscribe to GrowAllot Studio. There is always more going on down on the allotment than meets the eye.